So this is actually the first time that I've actually stayed up late for an album and had very high anticipation for it. Psycho is, I'm gonna go ahead and say, is easily Don Toliver's best album yet. And saying that, I was a huge fan of every one of his last ones. I love Lovesick. I love Life of a Don. I even love Heaven or Hell. I've never actually listened to Donnie Womack, which I need to do. This makes me want to do it even more because I love this album. It's very enjoyable music. It was a fantastic first listen. It was so much fun. I kind of, besides the new singles, like listening to the singles, I tried to stay away from snippets and stayed away from like stuff like that. Like that way my first listen was like as less spoiled as it possibly could be. I almost wish he hid the features, but I understand not doing it. I love the rock intertweens and the guitar beats and like the electric guitars. I love that so much. I love that like when stuff like that is incorporated into rap music, and it's incorporated into a lot of these songs. It's nice. I love it. I love it to death. A lot of the highlights are 4x4. The song with Tizo Touchdown, Ice Age is really good. Inside is really good. Purple Rain is really good. 5 to 10. Actually, 5 to 10 is one of the more like not as great ones, but it's still really good. New Drop is fantastic. Kryptonite, Tore Up, Attitude, and Bandit were really good. The singles obviously is what had me so excited because I heard the rock inspiration in Bandit, and you can hear it a tad bit in Attitude. I love Attitude, and Deep in the Water is a really good song too. All the features do really good. Future does really good. All the producers, there's like a million producers on Purple Rain, like C Note, Metro Boomin, Zaytoven, but they're all really good. Future aces that song. Travis does great on both his features. Tizo Touchdown doesn't get a full verse, but his background vocals, like on the hook of what song is that? Is it All Me? I don't. Oh my god, I'm blanking on it now that I'm trying to purposely remember it. But yeah, they were really good. I plan on getting like the vinyl for this album and a shirt from his shop. I plan on getting that. And obviously, I only really do that whenever I really enjoy an album. That's the only time I really try and get a vinyl for it. Because like all the vinyls I have are albums that I really enjoy, plus the just two really good classic albums. I love the good Don Toliver singing. He has a lot of great melodies. Every song almost has like a build up to it, which I love. 4x4 is amazing, where the way he like stretches his vocals and the way he messes and plays around with his voice. When he does that on all like a bunch of these songs, it's really good. I really like that. I like the 4 disc concept. Like the closer to the end, the almost slower the songs get a little bit. The only thing I wish is I wish Don Toliver would like intertwine a little bit more of his own personal thing, because like you come out of that album not knowing a dang thing about Don Toliver. Like he's kind of like Travis Scott in that way, but Travis Scott I feel like is better at, he somewhat manages to drop little tunes of his actual personal life or stuff that like is actually going on, stuff like that. That I know I don't go into a Don Toliver song expecting that, but it would be nice to hear it. I forgot to mention Kodak Black's feature surprisingly good, and I'm not even a big fan of Kodak Black's music. He manages to keep his performance. Don Toliver manages to keep his performances enough for the song album, which is the reason I'm saying like, oh, it's not too long. You know what I'm saying? It's not too long. It didn't need any more features. I think all the features did good and carried their weight. But Don Toliver manages to keep his performance enough for it to like feel like his own album. By the way, 16 songs, perfect length. This album is a perfect length. If it was any longer, it would have been too long. If it was any shorter, I would have been like, why is it so short? There's no real misses. It's a nice beginning to end album. Yeah, it has me very like, I love the way that Don Toliver like switches aesthetics for every single album he does. I really like that. It has me excited to see what his next aesthetic will be. If he keeps maybe this rock intertwined one, that would be cool to see. I'd love to see a HARDSTONE PSYCO too. But I also like whenever Don Toliver switches up the aesthetic, because this whole rock vibe is nowhere near what I was expecting. But I also wasn't expecting the Lovesick aesthetic he did, or the Life of the Dawn aesthetic he did. It's so cool. That's very different of him. He gets a lot of comparisons to Travis Scott, obviously, because they kind of the reasons are obvious. But honestly, this album to me, he never sounded like Travis Scott. You can definitely feel the inspiration and you could hear it in the music. Don't get me wrong, that part's true. I'm not oblivious to that. Especially on the Travis Scott songs, he didn't really like sound like Travis. Like I never heard any of that and was like, yeah, Travis could do this better, or Travis could do like this whole song and just make it better. I never heard that. I managed to really enjoy this whole album. It didn't remind me of a Travis Scott album or Travis Scott music. It managed to stay really good. It stayed like varied enough, like a perfect mix of like more chill, like vibey songs plus turn up songs. It was chill. Track list is nice. Really, everything about this album is done really well. It's not perfect, but overall, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. Yeah, that for sure sounds right. Love it to death. My phone just went off.